If you shudder as you catch a reflection of the ugly fat hanging off your face, belly, hips, and thighs. If you are drowned in anxiety-inducing thoughts about what you'd eaten and how it would affect your body. If you no longer have the energy, the sex drive, and the zest for life you once had when you were in your 20s, then pay close attention, because I'm about to share with you an astonishing story about how my 43-year-old wife, Martha, who went from an overweight woman who lived her life in continual anguish, how I stood by, helplessly watching her struggle with diet after diet, exercise plan after exercise plan, to the point she became so desperate, she did something so extreme that it almost cost her her life. Yet, by the grace of God, there's more to this traumatic story. Because what happened next led me to a revolutionary, all-natural bedtime routine that saved Martha's life. And it could be the very same thing that saves yours as well. This shockingly simple bedtime routine is so powerful that it destroyed 65 pounds of health-damaging, confidence-shattering, hideous fat from Martha's face, belly, arms, hips, and thighs, going from this to this. Even more remarkable, this before bedtime routine freed Martha from a trapped life of chronic health problems and dreadful medications, while completely reversing all crippling symptoms of heart disease and diabetes, restoring her youthful energy, reviving her sex drive, and renewing her zest for life, while liberating her from the domineering stress, anxiety, and depression that had come to rule her life. Leading stars and pro athletes, and every person struggling with belly fat, eager to try this solution. And it's not just Martha. I used this simple nightly ritual myself. I watched in amazement as pounds and inches melted away from my belly, starting from the very first night, like butter in a hot frying pan. And before I knew it, I spectacularly lost 32 pounds of belly fat, exposing the abs I've not seen since my 20s. All while eating our favorite foods every single day, like pizza, pasta, and ice cream. I know, at this point you may be feeling skeptical, but stick with me now, because as unbelievable as it all sounds, this was all possible because of a quick 30-second fix, and I'm convinced that this is something you have not heard or seen before. You see, you have been manipulated to believe that your weight gain is your fault, that your body is broken. But you need to hear this right now. It is not your fault. Because in the next 3 minutes and 10 seconds, I will reveal to you the real cause of unexplained belly fat, as proven and published by Harvard University, ACP Internist, Journal of the American Medical Association, and the International Journal of Obesity. And unbeknownst to you, this truth has been buried by the weight loss industry, whose entire business relies on you never losing an ounce of body fat. This weight loss solution is for everyone, no matter your size, shape, or age. A proven health-transforming ritual that you can do at home starting today to quickly ignite your metabolism and start burning your stored fat off for pure energy. And if you think this easy weight loss solution has something to do with diets, prescription medicine, food restrictions, foul-tasting shakes, or workouts, you are absolutely wrong. This breakthrough habit has helped my wife and 82,440 women and men who have tried every single diet and exercise with no success to finally take back control of their lives. So, if you or your loved ones have 10, 20, or even 100 pounds or more to lose and are afflicted with unexplained belly fat, or are worried about any possible health complications, this nightly routine is going to transform your life for good. You don't have to believe me just yet. All I ask is that you watch the rest of this short video, because I promise you, you can melt away your stubborn fat with nothing more than this all-natural nightly routine. Just imagine, no more worries about what other people think about your looks, or what your spouse really thinks about your squishy belly. No more worries about strangers whispering behind your back, or judging you when you eat in public. Instead, you can eat all of your favorite foods, however much you want, whenever you want, totally guilt-free. You quickly melt away pounds of health-destroying fat effortlessly from your belly, hips, and face. You lubricate your joints and torch hidden visceral fat around your belly and organs. You parade your new figure in skin-tight, sexy clothing. The kind you've always wanted to wear, but never had the body or courage to. Making you look and feel decades younger. And with your healthy body comes a fortified immune system. It is now time for you to free yourself from the dark prison of belly fat once and for all. Sounds good? Then let's get started. Put your phone on silent and stay glued to the screen until the very end of this presentation. Because in just a few minutes, I will reveal to you the simple 30-second fix that you can perform every night, that I know will free you from stubborn belly fat. Hello, my name is Tyler Miller, and I'm really glad that you're here with me today. Before I continue, I must confess that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. And I certainly did not graduate from Harvard University. I'm a 44-year-old Formula One racetrack designer, and I live with my wife Martha and our 3 beautiful children in the relaxed hillside enclave of Los Feliz in Los Angeles, California. During my career, I've seen firsthand how racers battling to be the fastest can easily lose control and end up in horrific crashes. Just like how a perfectly tuned car can unexpectedly turn on you at the very last minute, so can your body. And that's what happened to Martha. You see, Martha gained 60 pounds while pregnant with Margaret 5 years ago. And unlike the first 2 pregnancies, Martha just couldn't lose a single pound, despite breastfeeding Margaret for over a year and eating healthily. So, to help Martha to lose weight, we spent our life savings on meal deliveries, exercise equipment, gym memberships, and fitness classes like Zumba, CrossFit, P90X, and F45. And when nothing worked, she resorted to starving herself for days at a time. We even went to see our family doctor, whose only advice was to, you've guessed it, eat less and exercise more. Within 5 years, Martha was 94 pounds overweight. I saw in agony how she transformed from a slim, sexy, and vibrant woman, filled with enthusiasm and penchant for life, into a frumpy, anxious, depressed woman. Our relationship suffered too. Martha and I stopped being intimate. And before I knew it, things went from bad to worse. Until one serendipitous night that changed everything. I can still remember that day vividly. It was the eve of Martha's 43rd birthday. That morning, Martha suddenly snapped out of her depression and decided that it was time to take massive action if she ever wanted to lose weight. Martha vowed that she would run 5 miles and finish it off with 100 squats and 100 push-ups. And like many people who want radical change, Martha didn't ease into it. She went all out and pounded the pavement hard, literally. After the first mile, she noticed that her running was getting harder by the second. She was gasping for air and sweating profusely, and her muscles were burning deep inside her. But she kept going, telling herself that without the pain, there'd be no gain. She went another quarter of a mile before she couldn't take it anymore. When she stopped to gulp in more air, she saw black spots at the edges of her vision. Suddenly, her sweat felt cold. She clutched her chest and dropped to her knees. The next thing she knew, she was awake in a hospital. I was horrified when I received a call from the hospital informing me where Martha was, especially when I left home that morning with her still in our bedroom, lost in her thoughts. The doctor confirmed that Martha had a heart attack. Thankfully, not a big one, not yet. When test results came back, he told Martha straight up, "Martha, these are facts. If you don't lose at least 60 pounds, I'm not sure how long your heart will be able to support your body at your current weight. Your blood pressure is steadily high at 175/100, and if it goes any higher, I fear the worst might happen. Your BMI is over 30, your cholesterol levels are through the roof, and your arteries are already beginning to harden. And even very expensive weight loss surgery would be dangerous at this point. So please, heed my advice when I tell you this. You have to lose weight. You have to eat less and exercise more. That's the only way you will get better." Upon hearing the grim news, Martha broke down and cried. She felt so helpless and defeated, knowing full well that the doctor's standard diet and exercise routine will not work. That same evening, Martha was kept at the hospital for observation. As she slept in my arms, I kept my eyes glued to her beautiful face, lost in a wave of thoughts, contemplating an empty life without Martha. I then gave her a kiss on the forehead and whispered in her ear, "Baby, I promise I'll find a way to save you." Dazed and confused, I quietly got down from her bed and went for a walk. It was close to midnight when I found myself alone inside the hospital chapel, asking God for help. And whether it was God's answer to my prayers or pure coincidence, I was about to meet Molly Wilson, a Hollywood celebrity who would eventually save Martha's life. Molly isn't her real name, even though she's been in the limelight for years. She likes to keep the details of her life private. As I sat in the front row with my face buried in my hands, crying my heart out, I suddenly heard a woman's voice. She was asking me if I was okay. I was about to ask her to leave when I looked up and saw that Molly was already seated next to me. I did not recognize who Molly was at first, but I could tell that she was genuinely concerned. So I let out a big sigh and spilled my guts. I told Molly about how there was a very real prospect of Martha dying if she didn't lose 60 pounds quickly. I recounted how Martha had tried everything to lose weight, but nothing worked, and how I had just promised Martha that I'd save her, but I didn't know where to even begin. What Molly told me next surprised me and altered my knowledge on health, diet, and weight loss forever. Molly put a hand on my shoulder and said, "My name is Molly Wilson, and I suffered from obesity not too long ago." Before she could go on, I interjected and said that I did not believe her, because standing before me was a woman whose toned arms and flat belly made it impossible for anyone to believe she had once struggled with weight loss. She exclaimed, "Wait a minute. You don't recognize me at all, do you?" That's fine. Just Google Molly Wilson. And please, don't believe what you read. Molly continued to explain. Like Martha, I had tried everything for years to lose weight, and nothing worked. The numbers on the scale would always remain the same, no matter what I did. Until I met a doctor from Korea who would share something incredible with me. So incredible, I've used it to lose 82 pounds. Molly's eyes turned even brighter as she proceeded to tell me about Dr. Kim, a Harvard Medical School graduate who specializes in internal medicine. After Harvard, Dr. Kim returned to his native land, Jeju Island in South Korea. The inhabitants of Jeju Island are among the oldest and healthiest people in the world. In fact, studies have shown that for the past 10 years, the areas along the Korea Strait have some of the lowest obesity, diabetes, and heart disease incident rates in the world. Dr. Kim spent close to 10 years there researching and learning about natural medicine that's been passed down from generation to generation. His years of research ultimately led him to develop an all-natural 30-second fix that fights obesity, all without the need for expensive medication, restrictive diet, or excessive fitness regimens. It was Dr. Kim's first week back in the States when he treated Molly one night in the ER for severe chest pains. As Dr. Kim examined Molly, he asked her some questions about her weight. Dr. Kim then told Molly that he had a strong inclination as to what was causing her unexplained weight gain, and asked if she was willing to commit to a simple bedtime routine for at least 90 days that he knew would help her fix the weight gain issues that have been plaguing her for over 20 years. Molly figured she had nothing to lose and agreed to try it. And it would be by following this all-natural 30-second nighttime routine for 90 days that Molly was finally able to transform her health and eliminate all her excess fat for good. Molly continued, Dr. Kim and I have become close friends ever since. If you think it would help, I would very much like to ask Dr. Kim, as a favor to me, to visit Martha in the morning and see how he can help. I quickly responded, Yes, please. That would be wonderful. Molly made a quick phone call and told me Dr. Kim will be at Martha's room the next morning at 9 a.m. She then gave me her private phone number and told me to call her if I needed anything, and also to keep her updated with Martha's condition. I told her that I really hope it all works out for Martha. And she responded, It better. Dr. Kim regularly treats celebrities and pro athletes. If his hourly rate of $12,000 doesn't convince you, then you should Google my before picture. I gave her a hug and thanked her and left to go back to Martha's room. As I was walking back to Martha's room, I quickly pulled out my phone and Googled Molly's before pictures. And I returned to Martha's room filled with energy and enthusiasm. I told Martha what had happened in the chapel, and her eyes lit up when I told her that Dr. Kim may very well be a part of God's plan to save her life. The next morning, Dr. Kim arrived and proceeded to ask Martha questions about her weight. He said, Martha, I admire your tenacity, but your approach was all wrong. The reason why men and women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s don't lose weight and are storing fat has nothing to do with diet, exercise routine, age, or genetics. Instead, it's because of midlife metabolic stress. Midlife metabolic stress occurs when your body becomes so overloaded with toxins that your healthy liver is forced to work twice as hard to filter and eliminate them. Dr. Kim explained that the liver performs two main functions. First, the liver breaks down and converts fat that you eat into energy. The liver does this by producing bile, which helps break down the fat. so the body can easily burn it off for energy. Second, the liver filters and eliminates toxic substances from your blood, making it clean and pure, allowing it to flow efficiently throughout your body. These harmful, toxic substances come from environmental chemicals that are present in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the soil we stand on, the household cleaning products we use, the medication we take, and pollutants we're exposed to, and many more. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, estimates an average person has over 300 environmental chemicals present in their body at any given time. And that number will only climb higher. So, as your body is increasingly exposed to more toxins, your liver is forced to work harder than usual to eliminate them from your body. As a result, your overworked liver has no choice but to stop making bile. And when there isn't sufficient bile available to help break down fat, the excess fat is stored in your belly and organs, which is what causes you to gain more and more weight. And the older you are, the more years the toxins have been accumulating inside your body and liver. So, as long as your liver is overworked and continues to be stressed, it will be near impossible for you to lose weight. And that's the real root cause of your unexplained belly fat. Dr. Kim then handed me a list of ingredients with instructions and said, "It's not going to help Martha much if she just takes each nutrient on its own. But if she combines them all at this specified quantity and takes them all at the same time, the blend will work powerfully to help her body overcome midlife metabolic stress." Some of the ingredients included jujube seed, a fruit popular in Asia that supports a healthy liver, immune system, and brain function. Silymarin, an herb with powerful, purifying properties that makes the liver more immune to toxic buildup. Artichoke extract, high in antioxidants that supports liver tissue growth and healthy bile production. Chicory root, the antioxidant components found in this root targets liver toxicity. Yarrow, its bitter properties invigorate the liver and help it release bile. Over the course of the next few weeks, I searched everywhere for the ingredients. When I finally found them, they were terribly expensive. And boy, was making Dr. Kim's blend labor-intensive. I painstakingly removed the seeds and plucked the leaves, dried them under the open sun, pounded them in a pestle and mortar, and finally weighed them to get the right proportions, as instructed by Dr. Kim. Martha was excited to try it, but I was skeptical that it would work for Martha. The very next morning, Martha told me she slept peacefully and woke up feeling full of vim and vigor. And for the very first time in a long time, she could think clearly again. Martha wasn't expecting to lose any weight that day, but when she stepped on the scale, she was shocked to see that the needle moved in the right direction for the very first time in 5 years. And after 7 days, Martha started seeing big differences in the way she looked and felt. Her belly was flatter. Her jeans were roomier. Shortly after, Martha was down 18 pounds without giving up her favorite food or adding a single minute of exercise to her day. And it would only become better because, in a blink of an eye, Martha lost an incredible 62 pounds. She started wearing her favorite dresses that she hadn't worn in years. And her face looked younger and more radiant than it had ever been. Her skin was supple, and the appearance of her wrinkles and worried lines had smoothed out. Her arms were toned, her hips and thighs were slim, and her belly was tight. She did not look at all like a woman who had given birth before. Friends, family, neighbors kept asking how she made this incredible transformation. Our family doctor was also in complete shock. He couldn't believe a transformation like this was ever possible for Martha. And just as quickly as the fat on her body had vanished, so did the feelings of loneliness, shame, and guilt that had plagued her for years. It all hit me one day when I came home early and saw Martha confidently parading around the house wearing nothing more than her underwear. Her flat stomach, toned thighs, and lifted butt were all on full display. When I walked over to kiss her, I realized that she was her old self again. The confident, vibrant woman that had me fallen head over heels the very first time we met. She then grabbed my hand and led me upstairs, where we had the most intense, passionate, headboard-banging time of our lives ever. As she rested her head on my chest, I stroked her hair and looked up to the ceiling and thought to myself that we had done it. Martha had finally broken free from the excess body fat that had haunted her for years. And she had done it with nothing more than a simple 30-second habit. It was at that exact moment that I was certain God had bestowed a miracle upon us by gifting us the most powerful, natural weight loss solution ever. And God has now given us the responsibility to pay it forward, to share this weight loss formula with the world, especially with people most immune to diet and exercise. But first, we had to make sure we could easily and consistently source these powerful nutrients in large quantities, in the highest quality, and at the lowest cost. And we had to find a more efficient way to process the raw nutrients, as it was labor-intensive and highly time-consuming to do it by hand. So I did what anyone would do if they had a celebrity on their speed dial. I called Molly. Molly loved the idea of paying it forward, and told me that we would need to get Dr. Kim involved. Dr. Kim was more than happy to help out. He also added 14 more amazing nutrients that would boost the potency of the original formula. Turmeric, an antioxidant that acts as a toxic flushing agent in the body. Choline, an essential nutrient that helps metabolize fat and supports a healthy liver. Berberine, an herbal extract that is proven to boost metabolism. Again, if these nutrients were to be taken individually, it would have little effect. But when put together in the exact scientifically proven amount and taken once a day, the result would be phenomenal. In total, 23 plant extracts and nutrients made Dr. Kim's latest formula multiple times more powerful than the original recipe. Dr. Kim and Molly used all of their contacts, and we finally managed to source all of the necessary nutrients in bulk at the lowest cost from the most trusted suppliers around the world. And we found a 21st century leading manufacturing facility in the USA that can pack these 23 powerful natural ingredients into easy-to-swallow, non-GMO vegetable capsules. That was it. We'd successfully created the world's most effective formula that naturally eliminates toxins from your body, reduces stress in your liver, and turbocharges your metabolism. Dr. Kim insisted that we put his formula, which was now in vegetable capsule, to the test. So I posted an ad on Facebook asking for women and men to give our liver de-stressing formula a try. Our participants had to be over 40 years old, with BMI over 35, and they must have had struggled with weight loss for at least a year. The next day, we sent a 180-day supply of our formula to each of the 106 participants who responded to our ad. And after 90 days, the results were far more incredible than any of us could have ever imagined. Each of the participants lost at least 48 pounds, with an unbelievable 90% of them losing over 70 pounds. They felt happier, livelier, sexier, and more confident than they had ever experienced in their lives. It didn't matter if they had a slow metabolism, or if they had come from a family history of obesity, or if they had failed miserably to lose weight in the past. We were thrilled to finally have in our hands the holy grail of all weight loss solutions that conquers even the worst cases of unexplained and uncontrollable stubborn belly fat. This all-natural formula does not contain any dangerous, health-destroying chemicals, and it doesn't require a doctor's prescription either. And now, by golly, I have hard, irrefutable evidence that this fat-destroying formula would work for everyone. That's why I'm so happy you're here with me today. I want to share this life-changing discovery with you, knowing full well that you will be our next inspirational success story. It is with my greatest honor that I introduce to you ToxiBurn. ToxiBurn is the only product in the world that contains 23 special nutrients in the exact scientifically proven amount that targets the true cause of unexplained weight gain and stubborn belly fat by significantly eliminating toxins in the liver and body, and by dramatically enhancing the natural metabolic process of the liver. It works perfectly for both men and women, all ages, all shapes, and all sizes, dropping pounds and shedding inches, completely revitalizing your health and turning the tables on accelerated aging simply couldn't be easier or more natural. Every capsule of ToxiBurn is manufactured here in the USA, in our technologically advanced, FDA-registered, and GMP Good Manufacturing Practices certified facility. ToxiBurn is 100% natural, vegetarian, and non-GMO. It is absolutely safe and clinically proven to have zero side effects. There's never been anything as simple or as effective as ToxiBurn to help you lose weight, as thousands of everyday women and men can attest to. Here's what Charlotte Klotz in New Brunswick, Canada, wrote in an email to us. Hi Tyler, I normally don't write reviews, but this is just too exciting not to share. I've been taking ToxiBurn for 124 days now, and the results are simply impressive. I've dropped 43 pounds and am now down to a size 10. I'm about 20 pounds away from my ultimate goal weight. I think it'll take about another month before I get there. Keep making these tiny miracles and don't stop. I owe my self-esteem and my dating life to ToxiBurn. And here's one more from Neil Dewars in Australia. Tyler, mate, you've outdone yourself. I've been using ToxiBurn for 96 days now, and can definitively say that this stuff works like crazy. I have lost 38 pounds so far, with absolutely zero side effects. I can think clearer, and I have more energy than my 16-year-old son. The best part is, my wife can't get enough of me. I'm positive you'd be able to experience these exhilarating and liberating feelings in a not-so-distant future when you give ToxiBurn a try. Imagine how you'll feel when your family, friends, and colleagues can't stop commenting about how great you look. Imagine breaking free from the hamster wheel of yo-yo dieting. Imagine eating your favorite foods guilt-free. Imagine people paying attention to you, listening to what you actually have to say. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and replay those images in your mind for 5 seconds and truly feel what it would be like. How much would the reality of those images be worth to you? $10,000? $100,000? $1 million? I know, it's hard to put a price on that because the results are invaluable. But believe me when I tell you this, I did not create ToxiBurn to make money. God's given Martha back to me, and it is now my responsibility to help as many people as possible. But for ToxiBurn to deliver on its promise, the ingredients have to be of the highest quality. So as long as I can recover my costs while spreading the word about ToxiBurn to as many people as possible, I'm prepared to let you have it today at the lowest price possible. So you're not going to pay $10,000. You won't even have to pay the $997 that Dr. Kim suggested was reasonable, or even half of that amount. God willing, the last thing I want is for cost to prevent you from getting access to this holy grail of all weight loss solutions. So even though it costs a minimum of $297 per bottle just to keep the production of ToxiBurn running, you won't have to pay that either. Although $297 is more than a fair price, especially when many women and men who have benefited from ToxiBurn have told us that they have saved much more than that, from stopping their prescription drugs and canceling their meal delivery plans and gym memberships. But I know firsthand all too well the pain and helplessness of watching your body gain pound after pound and not being able to do anything about it. And the last thing I want is for anyone else to needlessly suffer like Martha did for any longer than they need to, for the sole reason of not being able to afford this breakthrough weight loss solution. So I'm not going to ask you for $297. I'm not even going to ask you for half of that. Instead, I'm going to do something special for you. I'm going to give you a 30-day supply of ToxiBurn for an easy one-time payment of only $59. Yes, you heard that right. It's not an error. Just $59. And that's a massive 80% discount. But before you secure your supply, I need to make something clear. Research has shown that to experience the optimal health-transforming benefits and to get the maximum weight loss results, it is recommended that you take ToxiBurn from anywhere between 90 to 180 days. That's because after years and years of your body and liver being attacked and overloaded with toxins, it will take a good chunk of time to properly eliminate the toxins, trigger your liver's metabolic function, and revitalize your whole body. And because I can't promise how long I'll be able to keep it at today's price, I would absolutely hate it when you come back to order your next 30-day supply and find that either the price has gone up or even worse, we have sold out our stock. So I strongly suggest that you secure enough supply of ToxiBurn today to last you at least 90 days, so you don't end up being disappointed later on down the road. But I want you to get the most bang for your buck. So here's the deal. When you order 3 bottles of ToxiBurn today, I'm going to let you have them for just $49 each. Or, better yet, if you order 6 bottles, I'll give them to you today for only $39 each. Now that's a huge $1,548 savings for you. This special pricing is available for today only, or until our limited inventory runs out. And just to be super clear, you will never be able to buy ToxiBurn cheaper than today. ToxiBurn is only available on this page and will never be available for purchase at any other website or store. But these deep discounts are only available right here, right now. I can't promise that you'll see this opportunity again if you leave this page empty-handed. But I understand if you're a bit hesitant. I totally get it. I too was skeptical at first about the power of ToxiBurn. After all, we've been systematically manipulated into believing that diet and exercise are the only way to lose weight. And never would we have thought that a quicker, easier, and more natural way to burn belly fat and boost metabolism exists. Because this secret has been purposefully buried by the billion-dollar weight loss industry. So right now, I'm going to do for you what no big corporation in the weight loss industry will ever do. I'm going to back up my claims about how ToxiBurn will work for you and your loved ones by giving you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so that you have absolutely no risk in putting this all-powerful, natural formula to work for you. This is how it'll work. If within 60 days you are unhappy with your results, I'll give you your money back, even if the bottle is completely empty. It's as simple as that. Do you think big pharmas have the confidence to make such a bold promise like that? If ToxiBurn doesn't work for you, I would be doing wrong in God's eyes to keep your money. And really, I just wouldn't feel right about it. So drop me an email if you're not happy, and I will refund your money back, no questions asked. And just to be super clear, there is no risk here, and there's no way you can go wrong. Does that sound good to you? This is probably the easiest decision you need to make in your life. So grab this health-changing opportunity and do yourself and your loved ones justice by claiming your deal this instant. You'll see the 3 money-saving options below this video. Select your package and then click the Add to Cart button to proceed to our 256-bit secure order page that look like this. Fill in your information and confirm your order with our 100% safe and secure order form, and we'll get your package sent directly to your door right away. And don't worry, this is a one-time payment only. There is no subscription or any hidden charges of any kind. I hate those tactics as much as you do. But to avoid regret, you're going to need to act fast. And don't forget, you will never be able to buy ToxiBurn cheaper than today. ToxiBurn is only available on this page and will never be available for purchase at any other website or store. And just to be super clear, there is no risk here, and there's no way you can go wrong. So, select your package and click one of the Add to Cart buttons below. And don't let the low price today fool you into thinking that ToxiBurn is anything other than extraordinary. ToxiBurn is extremely powerful, and I'm convinced that it will work for you, as it has for the 82,440 others who have tried it. ToxiBurn has worked so effectively that everyone is talking about it. Men and women all across the world are now discovering this amazing formula for themselves, and most are ordering at least a 6-month supply. And truth be told, we're starting to see demand overtaking supply. And when supply runs out, it could be 6 months or even longer before we're able to replenish our stock. So the last thing you want to see when you come back to this site looking for another month's supply is the out-of-stock message, especially when you're finally shedding that unwanted body fat and revealing that slim, sexy figure that lies underneath. This is something you don't want to leave to chance, so make sure you secure enough today so that you don't have that worry. Click now on one of the rectangular Add to Cart button below and secure your supply of ToxiBurn today before it's too late. And just to be super clear, you will never be able to buy ToxiBurn cheaper than today. And don't forget, ToxiBurn is only available on this page and will never be available for purchase at any other website or store. As soon as you place your order, we'll get your shipment processed within 24 hours, so you'll be able to start immediately. All you have to do is take just 2 easy-to-swallow capsules before bedtime and watch as your belly, back, arms, thighs, and butt transform before your eyes. Your pants will feel looser in the first week. Your every step will feel lighter, and your midsection will start to flatten out. And don't forget, you have a full 60 days, that's 2 whole months, to test ToxiBurn out, risk-free. This special pricing is available for today only, or until our limited inventory runs out. It's now time to take action, to take back control of your body and your life, and start living the way you have always dreamed about, with the self-confidence you have not experienced in years. Click on one of the rectangular Add to Cart button below now and secure your supply of ToxiBurn today before it's too late. And don't forget, ToxiBurn is only available on this page and will never be available for purchase at any other website or store. And just to be super clear, there is no risk here, and there's no way you can go wrong. You may not realize it, but right now you've reached a fork in the road to your weight loss success. A split in a road going 2 very different directions, leading to opposite destinations. So listen carefully while I point out your options to you so that you can make the choice that's right for you. Option number 1. You choose to fall back into that vicious cycle that the mainstream weight loss industry has maliciously set up. You continue with your rigorous exercise routine, and maybe, hopefully, you'll lose a bit of weight. But you and me both know that it'll just be a matter of time before you regain those pounds back. If you go for option number 1, you should know that you'll never be able to just eat what you want. And you'll always be chained to the endless cycle of yo-yo dieting, self-doubt, and self-hate. And to put it bluntly, that's exactly what the weight loss industry wants for you. Because there's nothing better for their bottom line than a lifetime customer who will keep spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on their expensive products. In fact, the average American spends close to $112,000 over their lifetime in an attempt to lose weight. And that's just talking about dollars. What about the toll it takes on your mental health, energy levels, and relationships? Add them to the equation, and it gets even worse. So, are you willing to risk going back to the hopeless battle between you and your body just to save a few dollars? Because the truth is, you've made it this far through my presentation. We both know full well that you want to make a positive change in your life. You're sick of being a prisoner to your unwanted belly fat. You're sick of trying to convince yourself that you look fine. You're sick of longing for that slim and lean figure of your youth. And the reality is that as toxins continue to build up in your body, it will get even worse if you don't take action right now. And I know it all too well. I saw it happen to Martha, which is why I urge you to take a second and seriously consider choosing option number 2. All you have to do is invest in a one-time payment for ToxiBurn today and put the formula to work, risk-free, for 60 days. Just imagine what you'll look like in just a few weeks. You'll be posing in front of your mirror, naked with a smile on your face that won't disappear. Your stomach, arms, hips, butt, and thighs become so lean you'll think it's surreal. Your spouse will not want to keep his or her hands off of you, no matter how much you beg. Imagine how good that will feel. No more embarrassment, guilt, or shame over your weight and appearance. No more worrying about following restrictive diets or waving your favorite foods goodbye. No more wondering if your pain will keep you away from the activities you enjoy. No more hurting your relationships with the people you love. And no more grueling exercise routines. Or trying useless fad diets that just don't work. You've already made it this far to the presentation. So I know you want to take back control of your life. You want to lose weight. You want to feel better. And you want to look sexier. And if you haven't realized it already, this is the only realistic option you have.
I owe my life to ToxiBurn. Truth is, I was sick of seeing my ugly, flabby belly staring at me every time I looked in the mirror and wondering how I managed to get so fat. I could no longer pretend my belly didn't bother me and that I was okay with the body I had. I allowed my body, self-esteem, and self-worth slip through my fingers, and I so wanted to get them back. And in a few short months, ToxiBurn helped me lose 6 inches of belly fat. I feel I have my life back. $59 on health supplements? I would never have. Until my doctor told me I had the body of a 70-year-old woman because I was fat. She told me that being overweight comes with an increased risk of heart attack, stroke, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and could cut my life short by years, even decades. These were not the risks I was willing to take anymore just to save a bit of money. Since ToxiBurn, I have lost 43 pounds, and all my health markers have significantly improved. I would gladly pay double the price if I had to do this all over again. I was about to click away but realized I had 60 days to test ToxiBurn with absolutely no risk. I've lost 36 pounds in less than 2 months, and it was obvious that ToxiBurn did more for me than any diet or exercise ever could. I'm so happy I got the 6-month supply because when it went out of stock, my best friend had to wait 6 months to get hers. If ToxiBurn's in stock, you need to order it now and experience firsthand the power of ToxiBurn's 100% risk-free. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I've been an open book with you. You've heard Martha's story, and I'm sure you share her pain. And just like her, you can change your situation and life for the better and lose weight once and for all. So, if you want to opt for the smart and right decision, select a package and click on one of the rectangular Add to Cart buttons below to place your order now. And don't forget, ToxiBurn is only available on this page and will never be available for purchase at any other website or store. And you won't be enrolled in an automatic billing subscription or anything of that sort. Also, keep in mind that you're covered by our 60-day money-back guarantee. So even if you're not thrilled with your spectacular body transformation after you finish your supply, simply let me know for a full and fuss-free refund. That's why there is no risk here, and there's no way you can go wrong. So if you want to get that slim and slender figure that catches eyes wherever you go, that turns your friends raging with jealousy, then I urge you to select your package by clicking on one of the Add to Cart buttons below before supplies run out. And don't forget, you will never be able to buy ToxiBurn cheaper than today. ToxiBurn is 100% natural, vegetarian, and non-GMO. It is absolutely safe and clinically proven to have 0 side effects. And just to be super clear, there is no risk here, and there's no way you can go wrong. So select your package by clicking on one of the Add to Cart buttons below before supplies run out. I can't wait for you to tell me about your amazing success.